Hey, what's up, guys? Houston here. Look, I'm gonna tell you about a loan that gives you up to from $1,000 up to $25,000 with bad credit. Okay, and you don't have to have a job. Now, what I mean by have a job is that you don't have to have a regular W-2 income. Okay, so you can be self-employed, because with some lenders or whatever, they don't want you to be self-employed. With this lender, they will still work with you if you are self-employed. All right. Now, another thing about it, you can be receiving benefits, government benefits. They will still work with you. All right. So before I jump into that lender, I want to tell you guys that you all should look into the Work Innovation Opportunity Act. Okay. Now, here's the thing about it. It's like the unemployment. All right. However, with this here program not only would pay for your continued education, however, they would actually pay for the expenses of, like, say that you have a car that needs maintenance and stuff like that to help you get to work and stuff. This program actually offers those services to help give you some type of income to pay for your transportation. All right. So I would definitely tell you to look into the Work Innovation Opportunity Act. Don't sleep on that program, especially if you're struggling. Now, another program I always tell you about when you are having challenging times and you need bills to be paid and stuff is to go to findhelp.org. Okay. And all you do there is just put in your zip code, and they'll tell you every organization in your community that's able to help you pay rent, to put food on the table, help you with medical issues if you just had a new baby, if you need money for transportation. So that's findhelp.org. Now, also, just keep in mind that I always tell you guys, if you are working a regular W-2 job, always go to your HR and file exempt with your W-4, okay? So by you filing exempt with your W-4, that'll stop them from taking taxes out of your check. Now, I always tell people, only do this for 3 to 4 months, all right? And so it may not kick in right away. It may not be the first pay period. It may be the second pay period. But once they start kicking in, then you'll see a bigger paycheck. And so sometimes when I tell you about these loans, I don't want you to think that I'm trying to put you in debt. I'm trying to help you to be able to get out of debt. Now, in terms of talking about the loan that I was referencing to at the beginning, it's called the Marine Finance, okay? And I guess Marine Finance, they're similar to One Main, all right? They're through WebBank. And it's a soft pull to pre-qualify. But the good thing about it, it goes from $1,000 up to $25,000. Okay, now that's the soft pull. When you actually do accept the loan, they're going to do a hard pull, which is on your experience. Now, the interesting thing about this, I have seen people with less than a 550 credit score get approved for this here type of loan. All right. Now, there's also another loan I've mentioned in the past, but I don't really focus on it. And that's with Reprise Financial. Okay, so with Reprise Financial, and by the way, Marine Finance is usually in all 50 states. Reprise Finance, I think, is in all 50 states. They may exempt New York, probably be the main one they may exempt. All right. However, I also want to let you know with Reprise Financial, if you are an entrepreneur, you're self-employed, they will not work with you. You have to have a registered business in order, and that's showing that you're actually receiving pay from that registered business as a real paycheck in order for them to give you a loan. So they will give you a loan as an entrepreneur, but you have to have a registered business. So for those of you that need help with that, you can click the link in the description, and I can schedule a one-on-one consultation to set you up with that. Plus, we do help people with payroll. We help set you up with payroll, and we give you anywhere up to 4 months free once you qualify for our payroll system. So if that's something you want to be interested in, type payroll, and we can schedule one-on-one consultation for that. Now, here's another thing. If you cannot get approved for those loans. All right. I would tell you some other lenders that you may want to take a look at. You have low credit finance. Now, with low credit finance, it's not a direct lender. Marine Finance, Reprise Finance, those are direct lenders. Low credit finance, they go up to $50,000, but they are not a direct lender. They are a platform. Okay. And so since they are a platform, then when you put your information in, they use their database to see which one matches. Now, here's a key that I want to tell you about when you're going after these type of loans. One is the address on the application. Make sure that that address is an accurate, updated address. Okay. This is one of the biggest things I continue to tell people when you're going for loans and stuff like that. If the address on the application is not matching the address with the third-party credit bureaus, that's how come you don't get the hard pull on the credit, then you can get rejected, okay? Especially like with this AI in the system now. AI is picking up a lot of information. So like with your third-party credit bureaus like Clarity, Teletrack, DataX, okay? Those type of third-party credit bureaus, even with LexisNexis, when they picking up that data and stuff, they may have outdated addresses. All right. So if you move from apartment A to apartment B and you put apartment B on the application, then and they go through their system to try to match up the information. If that address is not matching up, that can be the reason they may deny you. Because again, like I said, I have seen people with a 550 credit score get approved for this type of loan. They got approved for the Marine Finance and the Reprise Financial. Okay, so that's the reason I'm telling you that low credit finance is a database. Now, the good thing about low credit finance, they also have tribal lenders in their database. So in terms of jumping through all the extra hoops and stuff like that, then they don't have to do it. And the interest rates on those type of loans go anywhere from 5.99 up to 35.99. All right, so they're more reasonable. All right, now, here's another thing. Like I said, with One Main Financial, many of you all are familiar with One Main Financial going from 1,000 up to 20,000. All right. But one of the biggest things that I would definitely tell you, especially you guys as entrepreneurs, look, because it's hard for you to show proof of income, one of the best lenders out there that would be more favorable to actually giving you a loan, and they may not give you a lot, they only go up to 5,000, is Giggle Finance. Okay, so with Giggle Finance, they go up to 5,000. You have to show regular deposits at least 3 to 4 times a month for the past 90 days in order to qualify for a loan, but they are not focused on the credit score. Okay, so the minimum income that you have to have with this type of lender is at least $1,500. With Marine Finance, with Reprise Finance, the minimum income after taxes is usually about $1,000 a month. Okay, now that's the reason why I continue to tell you there's plenty of lenders out there that will work with you when you have bad credit. It's just in a matter of, do you have the income to match it? So that's the reason I tell you, don't always go to the banks and credit union, especially when you have a high debt to income ratio. Now, that's another thing that plays into this, because with these type of lenders, their debt to income ratio they're factoring in is above that 55-60%. Okay, where your banks and credit unions, their max is at usually 55. Some may do 60%, but most of them stop at about 55% with debt to income ratio. Okay, so another lender that you may want to check out, John Hopkins Federal Credit Union. And the reason is they offer loans up to $50,000. But the best part about John Hopkins loans is that with their loans, you actually have 90 days once you get approved to make your first payment. So that's the reason why I would check them out also. All right. So I hope this video helps you. If you have any question about business credit financing, personal credit financing, removing negative items off the credit, click the link in the description. Schedule a one-on-one consultation. Thank you.